In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Ta-Seen. These are the revealed verses of the Quran, and it is a clear book from God, elucidating truth. It is guidance to a straight way of salvation and glad tidings of everlasting delight in paradise for all the believers, those who duly establish the prayer and who give the zakah, charity, and who within themselves have utter certainty of the imminence of the hereafter. As for those who do not believe in the hereafter, we have made their deeds fair seeming to them. Thus they wander through life blindly in their misguidance. These are the ones for whom there shall be the very worst torment in this life, and in the hereafter it is they themselves who shall be the greatest losers. For indeed, O Prophet, you are most surely receiving the Quran from one who is all wise, all knowing. Behold, Moses said to his family, "Indeed, I have noticed a fire. From it I shall bring you some news to guide us on our way, or bring you a flaming firebrand, so that you may warm yourselves." So, when he came to it, he was called by God. Blessed be whoever is in the effulgence of the fire, and whoever is around it. For highly exalted is God alone, Lord of all the worlds. O Moses, indeed, it is I am God, the overpowering one, the all-wise. Now throw your staff to the ground. Then, when he saw it moving, as if it were a great serpent, he turned and fled, and would not turn back. God said, "O Moses, have no fear, for in my presence messengers have nothing to fear. Even should one have done wrong, then replace inequity with good, still I am indeed all forgiving, mercy giving. Moreover, let your hand enter the bosom of your garment. It shall come forth radiant white, without blemish. This is one of the 9 miraculous signs that you shall show to Pharaoh and his people. Indeed, they have been an ungodly people. Yet, when our signs came to them, manifest before their very eyes, they said, "This is clear sorcery." Thus, even though within their souls they were certain of them being from God, they disavowed them wrongfully and haughtily. So, see how devastating was the end of the sowers of corruption. Now, indeed, we gave David and Solomon revealed knowledge as well, and ever did they say, "All praise is for God alone, who has favored us above many of his believing servants." Thus Solomon inherited prophethood and the throne from David. Wherefore he said, "O people, we have been taught to comprehend the utterance of birds. Moreover, we have been given something of nearly every good thing in the world. Indeed, this is most surely evidence of manifest favor from God." So, assembled before Solomon were his hosts from the jinn and the human beings and the birds. Thus were they duly marshaled to march in force. And at last, when they came upon the valley of ants, an ant said, "O you ants, enter quickly into your dwellings, and let not Solomon and his hosts crush you while they are unaware." So he smiled, laughing at her statement, and said in gratitude, "My Lord, dispose me always to give thanks for your grace with which you have graced me and my parents, and that I do righteous deeds with which you are pleased, and admit me by your mercy into the company of your righteous servants." And So he reviewed the birds. Then he said, "Why do I not see the hoopy? Or is he of those who are absent without leave? I shall most surely punish him with a severe punishment, or I shall most surely slaughter him unless he brings me a clear warrant for his absence." Yet he remained away, but not for long. Then he came and said, "I have compassed a momentous matter, which you, O Solomon, have not compassed. For I have come to you from the land of Sheba with sure news. Indeed, I found a woman ruling over them, and she has been given something of nearly every good thing in the world. Moreover, she has a magnificent throne. I found her and her people bowing their faces down to the sun in worship instead of bowing to God. For Satan has made their godless works fair seeming to them. Thus has he barred them from the path of God, and therefore they are not rightly guided, so that they do not bow their faces down to God, though he is the one who brings out all that is hidden in the heavens and the earth, and who alone knows what you keep secret and what you make known. God, there is no God but Him, the Lord of the magnificent throne. Solomon said to the hoopy, "We shall see whether you have spoken the truth, or if you are to be counted as one of the sheer liars. Go with this letter of mine to the court of Sheba, then cast it down to them. Then turn aside from them. Then see what answer they shall return." When the letter reached the queen, she said, "O assembly of nobles, an honorable letter has been cast down to me. It is from Solomon, and it is written herein, 'In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the Mercy-Giving. Do not exalt yourselves against me in defiance of revealed truth. Rather, come to me as Muslims in willing submission to God alone. She said, O assembly of nobles, counsel me in my affair, for I decide no vital affair unless you bear witness and consent with me. They said, we are a people endowed with great force. Moreover, we are endowed with mighty military power. Thus, the command is yours, O Queen. Consider then what you shall command. She said, indeed, when kings enter a city, they spread corruption in it. Moreover, they reduce its people of dignity to abject humility, and this is indeed what they do. Thus, I am sending to them a gift in response. Then I will consider that wherewith the messengers I send return. So, when her envoy came to him, Solomon said, would you extend to me mere wealth? Yet what God has given me is far better than all that He has given you. Rather, you are exultant with regard to your gift. Return to them, O messengers, those who have sent you bearing gifts. For more surely we shall come to them with hosts, the like of which they shall never be able to face. Moreover, we shall more surely expel them from their land in abject humility. Thus shall they be abased. Thereafter, when Solomon anticipated her coming to him, he said to his court, O assembly of nobles, which of you will bring me her throne before they come to me in willing submission? One of the great power serving Solomon from the jinn said, I shall bring it to you before you rise from your position, for I am indeed the one for such a task, being both very strong and trustworthy. Yet he who had knowledge from the heavenly book said, I shall bring it to you even before the glance of your eye to the sky can return to you. So, the moment he beheld it, settled before him? Solomon said, "This is of my Lord's favor upon me to try me as to whether I will be thankful to him or ungrateful. Yet anyone who is thankful to God is but thankful for the good of his own soul. And whoever is ungrateful, then nevertheless my Lord is self-sufficient, all generous." He said, "Alter the appearance of her throne, so it becomes unfamiliar to her, so that we may see whether she shall follow right guidance after seeing this miracle, or if she will remain of those who are not guided aright." So, when she arrived at his court, it was said to her, "Does your throne resemble this one?" She said, "It is as though it were itself." Then and there, perceiving her inclination to truth, Solomon said to his court, "It is we who have been given revealed knowledge long before her, and ever have we been Muslims in willing submission to God alone." What she had been habituated to worshipping apart from God caused her at first to turn away from faith. For indeed she was from a disbelieving people. It was said to her, "Enter the palace court." So, when she saw it, she thought it was an expansive, rippling pool. So, she bared her shins to cross it. He said, "It is but a coat of polished glass plates overlaying water." Suddenly, realizing the truth, she turned to God in prayer and said, "My Lord, I have indeed wronged myself by worshipping the sun, and I now submit myself with Solomon to God alone, Lord of all the worlds. And very truly, we sent to the people of Samud their brother Saleh as a messenger, saying, "Worship God alone." And at once they became divided into two contending factions of faith and unbelief. He said to the disbelievers, O my people, why do you hasten to bring evil doom upon yourselves instead of the good tidings of faith? Will you not seek God's forgiveness so that you may be shown mercy? They said to him, We presage an omen of ill fate from you and from those who believe along with you. He said, Your deserved fate, good or ill, rests with God alone. Rather, you are a people who have been put to trial by Him. There were in the city 9 men, heads of their clans, who spread corruption in the earth and did not set things aright. They said, Swear to one another by God that at night you shall together ambush him and his household and kill them all. Then we shall say emphatically to any heir of his that seeks retribution that we were not present at the annihilation of his household, and that indeed we are most surely fruitful. Thus they who disbelieved devised a wicked plan against Saleh, but we devised a plan to save him while they were entirely unaware of it. Then see how devastating was the end of their plotting. For indeed we demolished them and their people all together. So there were their dwellings in ruinous desolation because of the grave wrong they did. Indeed, in this account, there is a sure sign for a people who would know that divine retribution is unfailing. Yet we delivered from destruction those among them who believed and were ever God-fearing. Moreover, mention how God delivered Lot. Behold, he said to his people, Do the men among you openly commit such abominable lewdness with each other, even while you look upon one another? Do you approach men in lust instead of women? Indeed, you are a people who are shamefully ignorant of God's commandments. Yet the response of his people was only to say to each other, "Expel the family of Lot from your town, for they are a people who seek to keep themselves pure from our ways." So we delivered him and his family from doom, except his faithless wife. Her we adjudged to be among those who would linger behind. Thus we rained down upon them a devastating rain of marked stones. And how evil was the rain of those who were forewarned to no avail. Then say, O Prophet, all praise is for God alone, whose deliverance is sure, and whose profound peace is upon his servants, the ones whom he himself has chosen to bear his messages. Thus ask the unbelievers, is God, the all-availing, worthier of worship, or the helpless idols that they who disbelieve falsely associate as gods with him? Or ask them, O Prophet, who is it that created the heavens and the earth? And who has sent down to you from the sky water with which we cause to grow orchards of delight? It is not possible for you to cause even one of their trees to grow without it. Then is there another God to be worshipped along with God? Rather, those who say this are a people who veer from the straight path and ascribe equals to him. Or ask them, who has made the earth a hospitable place of settlement for all the living, and who made rivers flow all through it, and who set in it anchoring mountains to balance it, and who placed a seamless divide between the sweet and salty waters. Then is there another God to be worshipped along with God? Indeed, most of them do not truly know the greatness of God. Or ask them, who answers the one in distress when he cries out to him, and he lifts the affliction. And who has appointed you, human beings, as successors to inherit authority in the earth. Then is there another God who has given you of the dominion to be worshipped along with God? How very little you remember God's favor upon you. Or ask them who guides you safely through the veils of darkness in the land and the sea, and who sends the winds bearing glad tidings before the rain showers of His mercy. Then is there another God to be worshipped along with God? Most High is God, far above all that they associate as gods with Him. Or ask them, who is it that originates creation, then causes it to return to being after it passes away? And who provides sustenance for you from the stores of the heaven and the earth? Then is there another God to be worshipped along with God? Say to the unbelievers, bring forth your proof if you are truthful. Then say to them, none who is in the heavens or the earth knows the knowledge of the unseen realm except God, and they who claim knowledge of it are utterly unaware, even of when they themselves will be raised up for judgment. Indeed, the accretion of all their knowledge amounts to no certainty in the hereafter. Rather, they are in complete doubt about it. Rather, they are utterly blind to it. Moreover, others of those who disbelieve say, when we and our forefathers have become dust, shall we indeed be brought forth again to life? Truly, we have been promised this, we and our long dead forefathers before us. This is nothing but tales of the ancients. Say, O Prophet, to the unbelievers, journey through the earth and see how devastating was the end of the defiant unbelievers. So do not grieve over those of them who oppose you, nor be in any distress because of what they plot against you. Furthermore, they say in contempt, when will this promise of divine judgment be fulfilled? If indeed you believers are truthful. Say to them, it may well be that following right behind you is some of the devastation that you seek to hasten. Yet, indeed, your Lord is ever bountiful to all people, O Prophet, affording them time and provision. But most of them do not give thanks for this. Yet, indeed, your Lord knows well all that their hearts harbor and all that they make known. For there is not any unseen thing anywhere in the heaven or the earth, but that is inscribed with God in a clear book preserved in heaven. Indeed, this Quran relates the truth to the children of Israel about most of that over which they dispute. Moreover, herein there is indeed guidance for those gone astray, as well as mercy from the torment of the hereafter for all the believers. Indeed, on the day of resurrection, your Lord will decide every issue in dispute between them in accordance with His all-wise judgment. For He alone is the overpowering One, the all-knowing. So rely on God alone, O Prophet, for you are following upon the path of clear truth. Indeed, you cannot make the dead of heart hear, nor can you make the deaf of heart hear the call of truth when they have turned back in retreat from it. Nor can you guide the blind in heart out of their misguidance. You can only make hear this call those who believe in our signs, and who therefore are Muslims in willing submission to God alone. Thus, when the word of the hour of doom shall come to pass against the disbelieving among them, we shall bring forth for them a beast out of the earth that shall speak to them, heralding the day of judgment. For people will have had no certainty in our signs revealed in the Scriptures. Thereafter shall come the day that we assemble from every community a throng of those who vehemently belied our revealed signs, and they shall all be duly marshaled. And at last, when they come forth for judgment, God shall say to them, Did you belie my revealed signs, while you did not even attempt to comprehend them in knowledge? Or, if this is not the case, what then were you doing? Thus the word of punishment shall come to pass against them for all the wrong they had been doing. Nor shall they utter even a word in their own defense. Have they not considered that indeed it is we alone who have made the night for them to repose therein, and the daylight by which to see? Indeed, in this there are sure signs for a people who would believe. Yet the day the trumpet of resurrection is blown, then all who are in the heavens and all who are in the earth shall be terror-stricken, except for whomever God so wills. Thus all shall come to him utterly humbled. Moreover, you shall see the mountains that you deem firmly fixed, passing away like traces of clouds pass away. Behold the mighty doing of God, He who has perfected all things. Indeed, He is all aware of all the acts that you do. Whoever comes forth on that day, having done the good deed of sustaining true faith in God alone, then he shall have far better than it as a reward in paradise. And from a great terror on that day shall such be made secure. But whoever comes forth on that day, having done the evil deed of belying God, then shall their very faces be pitched into the fire of hell, and they shall be asked, are you now being recompensed for other than all the evil that you had been doing in life? Say to the unbelievers, O Muhammad, indeed, I have been commanded only to worship the Lord of this habitation of Mecca, the one who has himself made it sacred. For to him alone do all things belong. Moreover, I have been commanded to be of those who are Muslims in willing submission to God alone, and to recite the Quran to all people. So, whoever shall be guided by it, then he is guided only for the benefit of his own soul. As for whoever goes astray from its straight path, then to such say only, indeed, I am but one of the prophetic forewarners. Moreover, say, all praise is for God alone. He shall show all of you his wondrous signs, so that you shall know them to be utterly true. For never is your Lord at all heedless of what you human beings do.